Guess what, guys? We got some good info for you. Some good news. You guys know how I have been on top of any cliff screaming Baldur's Gate 3. And I personally even know that Starfield is going to be a phenomenal experience, I'm sure. We all want Baldur's Gate 3 too, you know. I think any amount of games that could potentially be a game of the year needs to be on all platforms that it can be on. And for the little bit I was worried. I was worried that we might not get Baldur's Gate 3 for a while, because generally when a game misses Xbox at the launch, you got to wait like 6 months for it. Genuinely. Now, obviously, that's not the case for everything, but I was worried, man. You know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about what is holding Baldur's Gate 3 back to being on Xbox. And I will say that it being on Xbox next month isn't like the end of the world, because Starfield will be coming out. So the players that play this game will actually have something else they can play while we wait for Baldur's Gate 3. You know, it's probably better for Baldur's Gate 3 not to have to compete with Starfield out the gate. You know, they will compete with it, but it won't be out the gate, and I think that's really important. Let's go over here to Twitter, because there's actually a conversation that I want you guys to see. This here individual is I'm pretty sure he's the head. He owns the studio. I'm not entirely sure. I remember this individual being shared that he was at Gamescom doing something, and people saying he was the head of the studio. So keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure he is. Don't hold me to it. He tweeted today at 11:41 a.m. Now, if you watched Phil Spencer's interview yesterday, he did say that he was going to meet with these people eventually at Gamescom, that he had it in the books. So he tweeted this: super happy to confirm that after meeting Phil Spencer yesterday, we found a solution that allows us to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to Xbox players this year still. Something we've been working towards for quite some time. All improvements will be there. With split screen co-op on Series X, and Series S will not feature split screen co-op, but will also include cross-save progression between Steam and the Xbox Series. So what I like about this is I can actually bring my Steam cross-save from Xbox over to PlayStation. I mean to Xbox. I'm a little disappointed that PlayStation isn't here either. I love a possibility where you can go anywhere you want and play the save file. Maybe not get the license for the game, but play the save file anywhere you want to. So right there, you know, there's a lot of speculation going on. Why isn't Baldur's Gate 3 coming to the platform at launch? I think he pretty much confirmed it there. You know, at the end of the day, the Series S is a fantastic ideal, but I do think there are going to be circumstances that lead to it holding a certain game back. Maybe because not necessarily the console is lacking anything, but it's going to be harder for them to actually get it on certain games and on to the Series S from time constraint. I think that's the biggest deal here is it's time constraint. Like, regardless if we want these games to come out and function the way they're supposed to because we feel like that's right, these executives don't care about that. The only thing they care about is whether or not they're going to meet their mark and they're going to make their money. And that's why, you know, even though that the Series S could most potentially have this split screen feature going forward if they just took a little bit more time, you know, the executives don't care about that time. They're like, push it to the PlayStation, push it to the PC, and you could do that later. And I feel like this is a good middle ground because Series S is still getting the game. They're just not getting the split screen feature. Now, you can make arguments that these people bought this, they should get the features that the Series X gets. And I 100% with you there. But I guess to me, it's more important that that Xbox gets Baldur's Gate 3. And like I said, this is a Game of the Year contender. This is something that we can't miss out on. And not to mention, he even said that it's still going to come out this year. So if they take split screen out, maybe it comes out in like November, December. You know, it could get delayed to 2024. Don't get that twisted. But this game has been monumentum this year. And I would just hate for the Xbox community to not get access to this game for the rest of the year. And if they still had to do the split screen, maybe it would have been some of next year. You know, any game coming out on PlayStation that's not on Xbox, that could easily be on Xbox, is not a good look in my opinion. So even if they have to remove a feature, maybe they'll put it in there later on down the road. Just remove it now just to get it on the platform. I think that's more important. They can still play the game, but they have access to the game. And I think that is important. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just a small game. This is Baldur's Gate 3. This has been everywhere. And I personally do think that even though Starfield comes out, it makes it a little bit easier to not have Baldur's Gate on your platform when it drops on PlayStation. It was still going to be a bad look. And even though it's not coming out day and date with PlayStation, I would expect it to not be too far behind. Shout out to this company, Larian Studios, and shout out to Phil Spencer, because at the end of the day, Phil Spencer gave them the okay to in some way, shape, or form break the parity policy that they have and let them release it, because at the same time you can make that argument that as a Series S owner, you should have access to a game and the features that a Series X owner has. But I can make that same argument that as a Series X owner, I shouldn't miss out on a game because the Series S is taking longer to work on a feature. So shout out to Phil Spencer for recognizing that. Hopefully they'll get the split screen in there later on after they've patched it in when the game comes out. I guess it is an example of a game launching with missing features. I don't know. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel. Do you feel this is an important game to come out? Or do you think Starfield could hold everyone over until next year, until those other games start popping out? But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.